Ramon Rietveld of Holland and Peter Huvenaars, his fellow countrymen, are on row 2. Josh Webster, having only his second ever drive in the Rotax Euro Challenge. He is on row 3 with Nikita Tetyukin. Nikita Tetyukin, cart number 16. Row 4, another Russian driver, Roman Mavlanov, lines up with Axel Jeffries, and the top 10 is completed by Simone Favaro of Italy and Raigo Yagarov of Estonia. Well, sadly, as in the senior class, the girls were eliminated in the preliminaries. One of them, Giovanna Bunches, couldn't even start because she had a rib injury from some domestic racing and was ruled unfit at the start of the campaign. But Vera Power, 4th in the round 1 at Salbris, France, but sadly hasn't made the final, so it's an all-male junior final. RGMMC, I was asked earlier today what that stands for. It stands for Roland Geidel Motorsport Management Consultancy. And Mr. Roland Geidel, who we've seen on our screens earlier today and out on the track, the boss of RGMMC. That's Reinhard Tropp holding the formation lap board for all the drivers to see. So, confirmation of that grid that I read over to you moments ago. Simone Favare coming up to start on the 5th row, having come through the last chance race. Axel Jeffries on the 4th row, the winner of round 1 at Salbris, but twice going off the circuit in the heats and having to come from the back, doing it the hard way. Josh Webster on row 3. He was runner-up in Salbris. Well, drivers from outside Europe, we've got Oliver Kalkoen there on row 9, comes from South Africa. Just behind him is Ferenc Kanksar, a Hungarian driver, driving for Kalman Motorsport, who is really, really impressive in the preliminaries here, but motor racing can be cruel. Things went wrong in the racing stages, and he has to start around about 10th position. Another South African fighting back, Matthew Swanepoel on the 11th row. He had some problems in the early stages of the race, but getting a little bit better. Milan Donche behind him, the younger brother of Indy Donche. Well, as you can see, we're in single file. Our graphics show race control slow, and so as with the senior race, and that shot you got there was one of our Red Devils marshals holding the slow board. We're starting for safety mode in single file. Once again, I say this is kart racing's equivalent of the safety car in Formula 1. In shot at the moment, kart number 57. 57 is Mark Kiralikuti of Hungary. Got a little doggy called Emily. You didn't know that, did you? Mark Kiralikuti of Hungary. Well, when we're racing, we shall see Ryuya Fuji leading from Kevin Corhus with Ramon Rietveld in 3rd place. I haven't heard if we go round a second time as we did with the seniors, so I shall just have to look at my television screens as you can do, and then we'll see. No, we are going round for another safety car lap. We are going round under the slow board and flag. The guys hurrying up a little bit, but they're not racing, or if they are racing, they shouldn't be. This is not race mode. Well, our screen shows you how quick they're going round the Exisuit hairpin at the top of the hill. And you could be forgiven for thinking that they were racing, but they think they are, but they're not. So this was a 14-lap final. And as with the senior race, it will in effect be reduced by 2 laps to a 12-lap race, although the final was over longer distance, but you know what I mean, reducing the racing laps by 2. Kevin Corhus on your left, Ryuya Fuji on your right. That's now revised as we go round the corner. They're on the back straight at the moment, those 2 front runners. Ryuya Fuji of Japan, Kevin Korjus of Estonia, but driving for a Dutch team, Team TKP. Ryuya Fuji driving for HRS Motorsport. We're racing, and Fuji is being pursued immediately by Kevin Korjus. Kevin Korjus just looking if there's room on the inside and finding some room on the inside, and Kevin Korjus trying to get inside of Fuji, and well, it's been a little bit of a, what shall we say, a little bit of a coming together without anybody actually going off the circuit. But Kevin Korjus is very much the clear leader. Axel Jeffries having another disaster. Well, there is the story of motorsport. The race winner in round 1 at Salbris. Nothing has gone right for him here at Wackersdorf. Axel Jeffries, kart number 12, shoveling his kart off the circuit, getting back into it. But hey, all hope of a high finish has gone. Kevin Korjus hasn't got all hope of a high finish gone. He's got a lead of about 8 lengths. You see him in shot there. This is the world champion, kart number 2. Kevin Korjus, he leads in front of Ryuya Fuji, and Raman Rietveld having a look to see if he can go second past Fuji. Rietveld the Dutchman, Fuji the Japanese. Well, Ryuya Fuji doesn't want to make the mistake that was made on the first lap. Maybe that's a bit harsh to call it a mistake. These things do. Oh, and at the top of the hill, we've got another disaster. Well, one kart mounted another. I don't think anybody is seriously hurt, but there's a mess. Kart number 58 we see there for Simone Fivari was one of them. 56 and 58. 58 Simone Fivari. 56 is Raoul Owens. And it's all a little bit sad for those as well. These things do happen. Milan Donche you see there, kart number 17, the younger brother of Indy Donche. Well, Milan Donche continues. 49, which is Matthew Swanepoel. He won't be continuing, or if he does, he's virtually out of the race. So Matthew Swanepoel coming over from South Africa to get some experience of racing in Europe. He's just had some. Kevin Korjus and Ryuya Fuji change positions. Fuji goes for the lead and takes the lead. Fuji goes back in front of Korjus. So now the 1 and 2 is how they started. Ryuya Fuji leads. Kevin Korjus is in second place. And in third place, the Russian driver Nikita Tetyukin gets better and better. You see him there in shot in the, well, not just at the moment, in the white helmet. There he was passing through your screen. Fuji leads. Korjus is second. Tetyukin is third as they go on the left-hand hairpin into the serpentine that leads into the back straight. We have 10 remaining laps to go, and the equivalent of soccer's yellow card is going to kart number 52, Raigo Yagarov. The Estonian driver, Raigo Yagarov, is being shown the driving standards flag. What does that mean? It means that the officials have seen something they didn't like. If they see something else they don't like, that will lead to a black flag. Well, I've seen something I like, some great racing, and Nikita Tetyukin goes into second place at the expense of Kevin Korjus. Nikita Tetyukin, kart number 16, goes second at the expense of the world champion, Kevin Korjus. Fuji leads, Tetyukin second, and in third place, Korjus. These are on the, there you see them in shot now. Number 2 on your left of your screen is Korjus. In front of him in the white helmet is Tetyukin. In front of oh, and who is this? Let's have a look in that Swiss Hutless file, I think. Swiss Hutless colours, rather, livery. It's Ekis Renars. Ekis Renars, kart number 35. Well, Ekis Renars is not driving the Swiss Hutless, he's driving a Gillard, so didn't accurately identify that, but Ekis Renars goes out of the race. Very much in the race is race leader Fuji. Second place man Tetyukin, third place man Korjus, and Peter Hovenars, the diminutive guy who was on the podium in Salbris, gets into fourth place, and these four pulling away from the rest of the field by a big margin. Fuji is kart 37, you see him in shot now. Tetyukin is 16, Korjus is 2, and Hovenars is kart number 46. Nikita Tetyukin driving for AGS Racing. Russian karting has leapt on enormously in the last 5 years, and we have karting from all angles. 4-stroke pro karts, Beelander 4 strokes, Rotax classes, and superkarts as well. Russia seeing a huge development. Estonia also, Kenneth Hildebrand was the world junior champion 3 years ago, and it's now got the current world junior champion. Peter Hovenars for the very professional Team TKP in Holland sets the fastest lap. He's run 53.441. So with 7 laps remaining in the junior final, Peter Huvenaars is in 4th place, but is going quicker than anybody else. Fuji in shot is in cart number 37, continues to lead. His margin at the end of the previous lap was 0.3 of a second. Well, the front 4 are well clear of the rest of the field. For the record, let me tell you, Mads Thompson is running 5th. Christian Sorensen 6th, so those 2 Danish drivers having in fact 3 Danish drivers, because Rasmus Vendelbo is 7th. Denmark 5th, 6th and 7th. Mads Thompson, Chris Sorensen, Rasmus Vendelbo. South Africa 8th, Oliver Kalkoen. Austria 9th, Thomas Jaeger. And Estonia complete the top 10, Rygo Yagarov. Ryuya has got 0.423 of a second over Nikita Tetyukin. Nikita Tetyukin has got about half a second on third place man, world champion Kevin Korjus. Tony Alacon up to 8th place, you see on your screen there. And there is Ryuyu Fuji in his CRG overalls, the dark overalls. If you see Fuji just walking around on the circuit out of his racing suit and not in any kind of racing, you just think he's a little lad who's, I don't know, maybe just got detached from his mum and dad and looking for an ice cream to lick and some PlayStation games to play. But hey, put him in a cart and he is a top-notch. I said earlier on in commentary today, he was not the most fancied Japanese driver in the world final. 2 of them were expected to go well, but he was the 3rd of the Japanese. But when the dust settled, this man in shot now, Kevin Korjus, had won, but Ryuya Fuji was in 2nd place. Kevin Korjus holding off Nikita Tetyukin, so Kevin Korjus regaining that 2nd place, the Estonian world champion, getting past cart number 46, Peter Huvenaars. Excuse me, not getting past Nikita Tetyukin, but holding off the challenge of Peter Huvenaars. So Peter Huvenaars, very, very small of stature, even for a young teenager. And the driving standards flag is being shown to Josh Webster. Josh Webster, the Englishman who came 2nd in the final at Salbris, driving for the RL Racing team, is getting the equivalent of the yellow card. In the meantime, there are just 4 laps to go. Oh, and Kevin Korjus really being pursued by Peter Huvenaars, and Huvenaars trying to go 3rd and does do. Peter Huvenaars goes 3rd, but Kevin Korjus is fighting back. Huvenaars is 46, Korjus is 2nd. They are dicing for 3rd and 4th. Wow, wheel-to-wheel racing. Huvenaars has the advantage on the inside right-hander. Kevin Korjus puts 2 wheels on the dust and as a result loses about 4 kart lengths. So Kevin Korjus has now got a lot of work to do to get a podium finish in this one. In front of him, Nikita Tetyukin, the Russian, is getting closer to Ryuya Fuji. At the end of the previous lap, it was 0.379. And as you see on screen, Nikita Tetyukin has set the fastest lap. 0.379 on the previous lap. Let's check the screen now. 0.595. So I'm contradicting myself because Nikita Tetyukin getting a little bit further back from Fuji. But he's setting the fastest lap. I wonder how you can set the fastest lap and go back, wouldn't you? It's one of those strange little motor racing anomalies. Well, there are the graphics on screen making the comparison for you. The bottom line is it's a good dice at the front. Ryuya Fuji leads, Nikita Tetyukin is in 2nd place, but in 3rd and 4th, an even closer dice, Peter Huvenaars and Kevin Korjus in 4th place. Here is your leader in shot, Ryuya Fuji. He sets the fastest lap, 52.926. On the 11th lap, 3 to go, 52.926. Ryuya Fuji of HRS Motorsport driving the CRG chassis goes quicker than anybody else. That explains why he pulls away a little bit from Nikita Tetyukin, so much so that he's now got a full 1 second gap between himself and his Russian chaser. Well, look at those nations there. Japan, Russia, Holland, Estonia, just going on to the next roll of the screen. Denmark featuring strongly, Chris Sorensen, Mads Thompson. Looks as if Rasmus Vendelbo has dropped out of the top 10. Yes, he's running 13th now, so a few problems for Rasmus. So we are in the very late stages of the Rotax Junior Final in round 2 of the Rotax Euro Challenge here at Wackersdorf in Germany. Ryuya Fuji comes around the final bend and starts his last lap. There is the last lap board being shown to him. Ryuya Fuji, cart number 37, goes up the top of the, not the top of the hill, goes up to the top of the hill. And there is the driving standards board for 62, Josh Webster, that you saw in the background. You also saw the last lap board being held by Reinhard Tropp. Fuji, Tetukin, Huvenars, the 1, 2, 3. The world champion relegated to 4th place. 2 Danish drivers, Chris Sorensen and Mads Thomsen are behind them in 5th and 6th. The Mallorquin driver, Tony Alacon, is 7th. The Mirror Motorsport man got himself up to 7th place. Good effort by him. So, very, very late in the race indeed. Cart number 37 is on the back straight over that mound. One more sweeping right-hander to go, and the Rotax Junior final is won by Ryuya Fuji. In 2nd place from Russia is Nikita Tetukin. In 3rd place for Holland, Peter Huvenars. 4th is Kevin Korhus. 5th is Christian Sorensen. 6th is Mads Thomsen. 7th is Tony Alacon. 8th is Oliver Kalkoun. 9th is Thomas Jaeger. And another Russian completes the top 10. It's Artem Markelov. Well, Ryuya Fuji, cart number 37. You see the CRG Racing overall. Absolutely pristine, isn't it? Looks as if he's barely done a couple of warm-up laps. Never mind a strong driving finish, a strong driving race for the junior final. Well, once again, the Wackersdorf circuit here at Racelands witnesses a good final and witnesses a victory for a Japanese driver with a Russian driver 2nd and a Dutch driver 3rd. Estonian 4th, Denmark 5th and 6th, Mallorquin 7th, South African 8th, Austrian 9th and another Russian 10th. This is an international series. Tony Alacon in 7th place has the E denoting España, Spain, but Tony Alacon along with his Mallorquin friends will say, yeah, Spanish, yes, but actually we're a little bit different to mainland Spain. We're from the island of Mallorca. Fuji wins it though by 1.5 seconds. Good race. Well, Josh Webster, who was 2nd in Salbris, think he's going to be a bit disappointed with 13th. Arvo Tolvar is better than 14th, would suggest. So is Raigo Yagarov, better than 12th. But there you go. It's motor racing, and you have to graft for everything that you can get. Ferenc Kanksar in 18th place went so well in the preliminaries. Not gone so well on finals day. Eugene Sokolov 19th, Oleg Shirmanov in 23rd place, Roman Mavlanov in 24th place, underlining just the strength in depth of Russian drivers in Rotax Max Junior class. Well, we're into the hard luck stories now. Milan Donche, the younger brother of Indy Donche, driving for Dobler Racing. He'll be disappointed in 28th place. He really would have felt that it was better than that available. Matthew Swanepoel went poorly early on, repaired the damage, did extremely well in the pre-final, but unfortunately got caught in the wrong place at the wrong moment for the final.